another edition of the Corner with Pregame, a live stream version of our awesome show. It's a little more like easygoing. We bullshit about topics, and even it could be music, movies, whatever. Sports is definitely king, though. I'm your host, Jerry Clem, my sidekick, Mr. Kev. We got a crazy show today. I'm going to make fun of Dak Prescott for about 20 minutes, and Kev's just going to laugh hysterically and watch. Marvin Lewis said something that honestly I'm just kind of agree with, but I'm like, dude, that you don't, nah. It gave me the willies like hearing it. NCAA made a smart decision somehow. We have an unfortunate death in the sports world, and lots of NFL news. Just random little things though, but it's great. So let's get rock and rolling. Kev, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. You know, it's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday of a long weekend. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah. So today's theme, folks, is beach attire. So I have my Salty Crew hat, which I wear all the time, tank top. I'm not wearing swim trunks because I don't really feel like it. But Kev's got his America tank top on.
Established 1776.
The funniest thing is there is a photo of the two of us on the vineyard for my family vacation, and we're literally wearing this exact getup, which is hysterical to me.
Yeah, if I had it on my laptop opened up, you should have told me you're going to bring it up. I could have put it up.
No, not that. I think that's not that photo. I think this was one from the beach because I didn't wear because I was wearing like some Under Armour thing. At the photo that's on my Tinder, which is a joke because it's me just flicking off the camera. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. So first up, speaking of idiots, Dak Prescott, folks, the world's most overpaid game manager. Dak Prescott, apparently today, there was a fake report that came out. The Cowboys threw him, 175 over 4 years or 5 years?
5 was the report.
Yeah, 175 over 5 years. Making the highest paid quarterback ever. And the end of it was supposed to be, $45 million for the final year?
That's what the report said he wanted.
It was a weird thing because around like 9 o'clock, I texted Kevin. I said, yo, you see this? Dak's going crazy. Dak's like all of a sudden, he's about to nuke the Cowboys salary cap for the next 5 years. And then the report came out from Shefty about 3 hours ago that was basically shot dead. The craziest thing is that everyone knows Dak wants at least $45 million. He wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. But what does not compute to me is that we honestly could go through the divisions right now. Okay, you want to do this right now? Why not just literally go through divisions and we'll just knock guys off? And because I have Dak at like 18 or 19 in the league. So
I do want to point out though also that it was reported that was not the case, that Dak wanted $45 million either.
Okay, so maybe I know at least he wants 37. He wants to be more than Goff and he wants to be more than Wentz because the two quarterbacks draft ahead of him in their class. The problem is, both of them have gone to a Super Bowl, one on the IR at that point. But anyway, both of them have more combined same amount of touchdown passes and half the weapons in offensive line. So I'm going to quote Joe Theismann again. Dude, what have you done? Just take the money. Just take the contract. Honestly, I want to because he can't beat the Eagles late in the season. And 2, he's limited arm strength. I'm actually more afraid of Andy Dalton than I am of him. So that in mind, Kev, we'll go division by division. Josh Allen or Dak Prescott?
Josh Allen.
Same. Dude's got a freaking bazooka, and he is literally just so freaking athletic for a country boy Montana guy.
His accuracy is a bit of a concern right now.
So is Dak's.
And his ceiling's so much higher.
Mm-hmm. And, our boy Tom, NFL department Phil, Eagles fan, asked me, how much is Dak worth? Kev says 15. Kev, you said 15, right? That was what you pay him?
About 15, not million, just $15.
$15. I would throw, if I'm being serious, if I was a GM, I wouldn't pick, if I had the option of anybody else, like if I could say, hey, I'll tank for a year, because there are probably at least 2 or 3 quarterbacks in next year's draft who are better than Dak Prescott. Patrick Starr can afford Dak. All right, here's the problem. I really don't get the whole – I get it, Dak won games, but I look at him like he's Alex Smith and Tim Tebow rolled into one. The deep ball's never been there. The accuracy's always shaky. And he's like, oh, he's a winner. Yeah, in regular season games when they run the ball with Zeke. You really want to split hairs there? But anyway, I digress. I take Josh Allen over him. Sam Darnold.
Before we get to Darnold, I think that's insulting to Alex Smith and Tim Tebow.
Ooh, I forgot. You dislike Dak just as much as I do, but you're not a rival fan, which cracks me up. This just
I don't hate Dak. I just think he's ridiculous. Like, I think Alex Smith is more consistent than Dak.
Well, also, I think Alex Smith may be the most hosed person in NFL history.
Yeah.
Because he's been replaced by Kaepernick, who had like 2 ridiculous seasons. He got replaced by Patrick Mahomes, and he got replaced by and then he got his leg blown off by J.J. Watt, basically.
Yeah, so because his leg blew up, I don't count that as getting replaced. And Tim Tebow was just electric.
Yeah, the electric factory of like 15 to 7 games. The thing is, to me, when I look at Dak Prescott, I don't see it. There are like the big he looks like a college quarterback. And that's the problem. I don't want a college quarterback. That's the reason Carson got paid. That's the reason Jerry Goff got paid. That's the reason Russell Wilson got paid. These guys transition their games to the NFL. Carson, yes, the injuries are a concern. I would but
it's the first time you've admitted that.
Carson this year he had freaking lawn chairs, man. Kev, you and me could have lined up and we would have made the actual Eagles practice squad. They had Greg Ward and the ghost of Deontay Burnett catching balls. They were praying that they got past the Seahawks because Deshaun Jackson was going to be activated for the Packers game if they won. They didn't, so it didn't matter. The thing is, they were relying on a 33-year-old receiver to get activated to help Wentz out. Then Howie goes, all right, we're going to get you 3 receivers in the draft and 1 in free agency. Great. When Carson's healthy, there's only 5 quarterbacks in the league I'd take over him. Maybe 4. If we're going longer term. Because, one of them is, Brady. But the thing is, there's 15 to 20 guys I take before Dak. And that's the thing that bugs me. And I try to understand the appeal. Because I try to look at it from an unbiased perspective because we are sports writers and journalists first, fans second, at least when we put on the camera. The problem is that when I look at Dak Prescott's game, and you know me, Kev, the ADHD, the hyper studying of the film, like I'll see stupid things. You're like, what are you looking at? I'm like, right there. With Dak, it's 1-2 throw or 1-2 run. It's Trubisky, but with more rhythm, I guess is the best. He's Trubisky, but with a little more rhythm. I guess that's the best way to put it.
And that's why I think he has a place as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Jacksonville.
If Gardner dies.
Not anywhere, but like when you look at him, you don't go, how is this guy a starter? He's not worth this money, but he's relatively consistent. Yeah, he's not putting up big stats. Yeah, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer. And I've made this comparison before. He's great value brand Troy Aikman. I have never thought Troy Aikman was a great quarterback. He had
the talent, but he never transitioned to it.
He had the benefit of playing with Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith in 1-3 ring, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, so the only Cowboy I love ever in history is Playmaker because, obvious reasons. But it's just, I do get the appeal. He's like a poor man's Troy Aikman, like super poor man's. Like Troy Aikman's like a Mercedes-Benz and Dak's a Toyota Camry. He still gets you there, but like it's not pretty. And what I'm almost kind of rooting for Dak to get signed only because when you look at how this whole thing is set up, as an Eagles fan, I want to see Dak play for Dallas for the next 4 years. You know why? Because that gives us an advantage at quarterback. That means they can't throw the ball downfield, which we have right now. We have a cornerback who's like at the end of his prime. We one who's just emerging, and it's a weird secondary for us. But here's the thing: we have Dak Prescott throwing the ball. We're okay because we don't have to cover deep.
Here's the thing, and I mentioned this earlier to people. Eagles fans think they're light years ahead of the Cowboys. They're not. They are
We're still about 2 miles.
You're maybe half a mile.
That secondary there's just trash.
Yeah, but see, so you're rolling out unproven receivers. That's a concern. And also, though, you say like Dak can't throw the deep ball. He doesn't need to. Amari Cooper is a great route runner. CeeDee Lamb can run under it, but he's not necessarily a deep ball receiver.
Yeah.
And you have Zeke.
We're looking at two different offenses here, where it's like, and also we don't know how Mike McCarthy's going to work with the Cowboys because McCarthy's the one who pushed for Andy Dalton to get signed. Like, I'm waiting for that time bomb to go off in training camp. So the thing is, I don't know what the hell. Like today, Kev sent me a picture. They had Dallas Super Bowl contenders. I'm like, really? When I look at Dallas, I see a really good receiving core, top 5, top 3 running back, and then a aging but good offensive line. Oh, and DeMarcus Lawrence and a good linebacking core on the other side. I see a trash secondary, and I see the rest of that D-line being garbage. The way I look at that, they are a 9-7 team at best because that offense is good. You think, oh, they have so many weapons, but the problem is they're not explosive enough to win games. Amari Cooper, a lot of his touchdowns last year were legitimate. Or no, 2 years ago when they won the division, they were literally just broken tackles. They were not like downfield throws. They were lucky. They were like, oh, Quentin Dunbar slipped. Ronald Darby's ACL went. Like, there were multiple like instances where basically this guy, or like Rasul Douglas bobbles a ball for a touchdown. It's the Cowboys were a team of circumstance 2 years ago. People were still hanging on to that Dak to Amari thing. And last year, everyone's going crazy about Dak's numbers. But the problem was, if you look at the numbers by quarter per game, they start to spike when they're up by 20 and they're just chucking balls to kind of just keep the score up. And they also, by the way, they started with like the easiest schedule in the league. And then they ran to buzzsaws like New England, and they were like, what? What do we do? And they dropped 9 points on a Philadelphia defense that had 3 IR starters on their defense. But here's the thing. That's all I'm saying is, Kev, is that with the Cowboys, if they had like a guy, even a guy with like, I'm not saying like a Carson Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers talent. I'm talking about like, even if they had like a Jared Goff, that team is 10-6, duking out of Philadelphia for the full 12 rounds. There's no doubt in my mind that they would be better off with a Jared Goff type, because at least he can throw a good deep ball. He can stretch the field. Because the one problem when you have a good running game, but all you can do is throw underneath, you keep everything up front. Because you're telling me, let's say I'm Jim Schwartz. Okay. I just put Amari Cooper. There's Amari Cooper. I'm throwing Darius Slay on him because you know Darius Slay has shut down Amari Cooper almost every matchup they've ever had. I think he has like less than 50 yards in the last 3 matchups they've had. Nikhil Roby-Coleman, all right, I'm going to put him on CD. One of the best nickel corners in the league. Slap him right on the rookie. See what he does. Sidney Jones, you locked up Michael Gallup last year. Let's do this again. The thing is when I look at Dallas, they don't scare me. The only person who scares me is 21. Because that man is a freak of nature. He's just a freak of a human, period. It's like, 4 freaking nose rings and everything else. But the fact is like, wow. And he feeds Zeke all that bullshit. But here's the thing. Zeke's the only one who scares me in that offense. Amari scares me, but now that we have Darius Slay, who shut him down multiple times over his career, that doesn't scare me anymore. I'm like, all right, fine. We have our nuclear deterrent. We basically said, you have him, we have this. Duke it out. Let's go. And now as an Eagles fan, I'm really ready to go. I'm like, all right, fine. So if I'm really looking at the Cowboys before we go back to whose quarterbacks we take over Dak, I'm just saying the Cowboys offense doesn't scare me as much. And yes, Mike McCarthy is definitely an upgrade from Jason Garrett. But at the end of the day, I still think they're limited. You got something to say, Kev?
No, because we've lost 7 or 8 viewers during that rant of yours. So let's move on.
All right, fair enough. Are we done with Dak, or do you want to keep going on with quarterbacks?
I'm done with Dak. I don't care about Dak Prescott.
Fair enough. I think everyone's done with Dak. All right. Next up, we got Marvin Lewis. Now, Kev, you texted me this story. I was a little confused about what he actually said. What was Marvin Lewis' exact comments he made about this new rule that they kind of shut down with the NFLPA with hiring minority GMs and coaches?
I know he compared it to Jim Crow laws, which is a bad look. Marvin Lewis riffs NFL's minority hiring proposal like having Jim Crow laws. It was offensive. It was definitely offensive. It was like having Jim Crow laws, was his exact quote. Draft picks are like gold. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. As a head coach, no one wants to be hired or put in that position.
I do get where he's coming from, but when you throw out the whole, like, everyone who, do we really want to explain Jim Crow laws here right now, or do we want to just kind of, there are basically laws that like oppressed, there were laws passed in America post-slavery to oppress the African-American population. That's basically what they were, if you want to go layman's terms.
If you're still confused, think segregation.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that is.
Basically. And the thing is that's what he's comparing it to. Yes, I get Marvin Lewis's thing a little bit because honestly, the rule felt like really out of place. Like it felt like way over trying to, I would say, ease the whole problem of the fact that there's not a lot of black head coaches right now or GMs. But at the same time, just his messages came off wrong, man. It was a wrong execution.
I agree with his point, like you said. But once you're bringing in the horribly racist laws that were enacted in this country to keep minorities, specifically African Americans, but it applied to a lot of minorities, oppressed after they were given their freedom, you lose a bunch of people on your message.
You basically have now just he had a message and he just went nuclear way too fast, and basically just, it was like me with the Dak rant just now. We lost viewers because of it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Herm Edwards has a similar point. He said it's going to impact relationships with other coaches, coordinators, other GMs, owners, and all that. Yeah, okay, that's a good message. I agree with that message. He didn't compare it to Jim Crow laws, so I stick with you through that message.
Because Herm's the fucking man. Like, come on. Like, I love Herm Edwards. You play to win the game.
Ooh, wait. No, it was Tony Dungy. Sorry. He said something else about it.
I still love Tony Dungy, too, so it's fine.
Yeah, it was Dungy, I remember. Because I remember I saw first African-American coach who won a Super Bowl, and that was Dungy.
Yeah. Herm Edwards. Yeah, he's at ASU still right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that he's coaching college football now.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done anything since they hired him.
Listen, the Pac-12 just – I don't even consider the Pac-12 D1 college football at this point.
I consider D1 it's just Group of 5 or FCS. Group of 5.
Yeah, we'll call it Group of 5. I mean, like, the ACC right now until Miami and Pitt and, like, Virginia Tech get the crap together, it's basically Clemson holding them up by their bootstraps, but at least they're still a legitimate conference.
Like, I am on record saying if you take Clemson out of the ACC, they are worse than the Pac-12.
We agree to disagree. If we did a Pac-12 ACC challenge for football, it's a wrap.
How many ACC teams were in the conversation for the college football playoffs this year?
Also, how many ACC teams got to play Pac-12 teams? Pac-12 teams besides Oregon and Utah are garbage.
Washington was in the conversation a bit and has made the college football playoffs.
They made it back when Jacob Eason had like the most loaded offense in the Pac-12.
Still made it.
Yeah. Also, that was a down year. There was like 3 good teams, let's be honest. Anyway, all right. Next up, we got Alden.
KJ wants you to know that Carson Wentz has never won a playoff game.
Yeah, KJ, but your Lamar Jackson hasn't either. So, what's your point? He's a Ravens fan. So, all right. Anyway, here we go. Alden Smith. For those of you who have been living under a rock, back in the 2012 teams when like the Jim Harbaugh Niners were in the playoffs every year and kicking ass, Alden Smith was the premier pass rusher. And the best part about it is that only Reggie White had more sacks than him through 45 games. Craziest stat ever. Dude's finally getting reinstated. I keep pulling for this guy every year. And to me, with Alden Smith, he's one of the most talented pass rushers I've ever seen. Like him and that whole defense with Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis was terrifying to me.
Yeah, I mean, I forget, what did Alden Smith get suspended for?
I think he had a gun in an airport or something like that. He had a bunch of, it was a multiple,
it was
like a rap sheet of things.
The gun in the airport was the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I agree with kind of after a while.
I want to see him succeed because the NFL right now, the NFL is at a stage where If you can rush the passer, you have a career. Hell, the Cowboys brought back Greg Hardy for a season because they needed somebody to get after. I think it was RG3 at that point. I don't even remember when Greg Hardy played for the Cowboys. Like what, 2015, 2014?
Yeah. Also, KJ is really helping us out here. Alden Smith had DUI, drugs, weapons, domestic violence.
Shout out to our boy KJ.
KJ's fact checking us. He'll love to see it. That's why I watch all of Puck Pass. Whenever they go live, I'm gonna have to retweet their thing to let you guys know because it's always a fun time to listen.
It's Wednesday. It was yesterday.
Yesterday, go live randomly too, though.
The best hockey podcast around. I will say that right now.
That's true. Get out of here, spitting chicklets. I'm going to Zach, Matt, and KJ.
Here's the thing. It's like I don't really watch hockey that much. I'm a Penguins fan, but like until the playoffs, I just don't care. Here's the thing. I listen to these guys because they're hysterical. And I've been on the show, twice? So they're a great podcast. So anyway.
All right, let's stop talking.
Back to it. Let's stop kissing KJ's ass here.
With that information, I want to change my position on Alden Smith. I do not like that he's back in the league. He should be out forever. The NFL needs a zero-tolerance policy. I'm going to get on my soapbox here. The NFL needs a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to domestic violence.
I do agree there.
If you have been convicted of domestic violence, you should be out of the league forever. I don't care.
I did not know it was domestic violence. I am changing my case as well. I thought it was just like DUI, drugs, and guns. I mean, honestly, at that point, I'm like, dude, who cares? But the domestic violence, that's where I do take a stand. And see, Kev stands on a soapbox, and he still looks at me in the eyes, which is the hysterical part. But, yeah, I don't think any team's going to pick him up, though.
He's on the Cowboys still.
Which doesn't surprise me at all either way. So I take that back. The Cowboys just, I mean, they did cut Randy. Do they still have Randy Gregory in their roster? They could let him go too.
Oh, I think they do.
KJ, fact check this.
It's so much easier to fact check stuff when we're just recording a pod. He still is on the Cowboys.
Okay. That's what I thought. And he fits in. Randy Gregory's got more drug charges than some guy than Snoop Dogg, so who cares? So Kev, you told me this whole story before about possible changes to the onside kick rule.
Yes.
So everyone knows the onside kick is like this. It's a crazy time, but rarely it's recovered. A new rule was pushed forward by your boy's favorite team. And why am I not surprised? Doug Peterson pushed for a way, like 4th and 15, what, from their own 25, was it, Kev?
Yes. Yeah.
I could just see it now. Eagles, Rams, week 2. They fell behind a little bit. Doug's like, you know what? We're going to go double reverse Jalen Hurts pass. We're doing this. And it's working, and Sean McVay's hair falling out. I love this because the problem is with the onside kick, it's a 1 in maybe 20 chance you get it back. That's if you're lucky. So I've seen it kill so many comebacks. This says the team, hey, stop these guys. You got one play to stop them. Do it. So I am all for this. So
there's a little bit more to this rule. It's not replacing the onside kick. You can still do a traditional onside kick. Mm-hmm. And you have to at points because you can only do this twice a game.
But I feel like they only go to the onside kick once. But if you're down by like 3 touchdowns, this could be a game changer.
Well, yeah, if you're down by 3 touchdowns, then you can do this twice to get within a touchdown, but then you have to do a traditional onside kick.
Yeah. So the thing is, to me, I love this only because the amount of hyper craziness that this can ensue. And this also is like more of a, hey, let's put away a team now because we don't want this to come back and bite us in the ass.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, oh, we're going to see all these crazy plays. I think at first we will, and I think we're going to see enough of them fail early on that teams are just going to go, all right, we're just going to go straight up 4 verts.
I mean, hey, listen, a lot of teams now have 3 or 4 receivers who can operate in that space. I mean, I'm for it. I think it's a great idea.
No, I like the idea. I'm just saying it's not going to work out the way people think it will.
I'm just up for chaos. You know I am. So
yeah, I know you are.
All right, last one for NFL. The Mercedes-Benz, by the way, is pulling out of the Superdome. They naming rights went up already. They're
about to go up.
Yeah,
in
they're
the
about to
next
go up.
couple of years.
They're not re-upping them, so it's going to be a new name for the Superdome because they want to focus on the Georgia Dome or whatever. What do they call it?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz, whatever the hell they call it now. I don't know, but
No, it's what it's called.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Anyway,
Which is a gorgeous stadium.
oh my god, it's beautiful. I've seen
If you have
pictures.
the chance or the means to go catch a game there, it's incredible. I watched Alabama FSU a couple years ago with my friends. It was awesome.
I just read Zach Mack's comment. I almost like I couldn't control myself. Shout out to my boy Zach Mack for
We're
coming
just gonna
on.
show Zach's comment real quick.
Yeah, just show. I love it. Yo, listen,
Put Zach back. NFL sexist.
Zach. If it makes you feel any better,
He's calling them out. He's trying to get this fixed. He thinks Carly Lloyd should get the shot she deserves.
yo, straight up, I would love to see a woman kicker in the NFL. Why not?
Carly Lloyd would be a fantastic kicker. I would buy her jersey.
I would too.
All right,
Also,
buy Zach Mack's
Eagles
comment.
fan. There you go. I was gonna say Zach Mack. If it makes you feel any better, I haven't punted in our Madden League in 4 seasons, so as for long interceptions, baby,
Yeah, it's the Jameis Winston strategy.
hasn't failed me yet.
50-yard touchdown, 50-yard pick, doesn't matter.
I'll figure it out. Anyway, so this is hysterical to me. I kind of like it's kind of a diss though, because it wouldn't be a story if the Falcons and Saints were in the same division and weren't rivals. It's kind of cracking me up a little bit how like they just said, you know, we're gonna stick to our own stadium now. It has their name. I don't know. I like, can I do like the Popeye Superdome? Like that'd be lit. That'd be the most New Orleans thing ever.
So there is someone who has already announced they're going to try and buy the naming rights for $15 million.
Wow.
And if we were doing a podcast night, this would have been my weird shit in sports. But Strip Chat, which I had never heard of, but apparently it's a porn site that has $15 million to burn, so they want to spend it on buying their naming rights to the Superdome.
I'm like speechless right now. I was waiting for you to like say like Pornhub or some bullshit.
Well, I mean, close enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably making triple the money they are. But anyway,
I
it's
would
like,
love it if Pornhub outbids them.
oh my god,
Oh, this is a good idea. Hey, here's $45 million.
just drop a stack and be like, here, it's now the Pornhub Superdome. I mean, it is New Orleans. I love that city, by the way. I've been there once. I'm trying to go back in the fall. I love the city, love the college football down there, I love the food. I hate your pro teams. At least they're football.
Dude, Jared, bit out of right field, but I have a question for you since we're talking about stadiums.
Let's go.
It not a stadium that you're a fan of, so not the link,
not
your favorite stadium though.
Yeah, my favorite stadium. Ooh, any sport too. That's crazy.
Any. Not gonna handcuff you.
I really love Coors Field. I love it. Like the rocks in center field, just the altitude. There's so much cool stuff. Whenever the Diamondbacks play Coors Field, I'm excited to like see a game there. I hate MetLife. Fuck that place. I've been there for 2 NFL games. Eagles Jets, Eagles Giants. Both times my team won. Also,
Congrats, your team beat the Giants and the Jets.
I know the New York minor league teams. The only real team in New York is the Bills. The word, which is just hysterical to say. Anyway, I've been to Citi Field, beautiful stadium, but Mets fans make me want to start swinging punches. So New Yankee Stadium's not bad. It's just hot as hell over there because you're literally in the sun unless you're underneath an overhang. I love Fenway. Been there 3 times, twice, maybe. I don't even remember. Yeah, no, I really want to go see a game at Coors Field. It looks so cool. I love the rocks. I love the atmosphere behind it. I also want to go see a game at Pittsburgh too. I think it's, what is it? What's the name of the Pirates field? I can't remember it.
Heinz Field. Oh, no, Pirates? Oh, I'm not sure.
No.
KJ.
Is it PNC? It's PNC, right?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Because Petco is also San Francisco. I hate the Giants almost as much as I hate the Dodgers, but I love their stadium. Like sitting on that crosswalk right between the bay and the field must be like insane.
True. I meant fields you had been to, but all right, you went on a roll, so I wasn't going to stop you.
It's like some like Animal House thing.
Because mine would be Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I love that stadium. It's so cool with the roof. Stadiums I'd want to go to though would that's a tough one. Because I'm trying to. There's no stadiums. A lot of stadiums I'd be like, oh, I need to go there. I'd probably just go there.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna do like favorite stadium. While you're thinking favorite stadium I've been to, it's probably Fenway. Fenway's cool. Like when I walk in, it's in the heart of Boston. It's like there's 3 bars inside the damn stadium. You got the Caskin flying across the street.
Yeah.
Like I went in there. I've been in there for games. I've been there for a college job fair, and I've been in there just to drink with my cousin-in-law before me and my cousin went to a concert. It's a great stadium. It's right in the heart of Boston. Nothing seems more Boston than Fenway Park. Like everything from the Monster to the arena, it's just a cool feel to it. Honestly, as a fan of the Diamondbacks, I have really no horse to pull in that rivalry. I used to root for the Yankees as like my second team because I had so many family members and friends. It just made sense. Also, I loved A-Rod. But I love going to Fenway. It's just a cool stadium. So that's probably my favorite one I've been to. I haven't been to a lot of NFL stadiums yet or college stadiums, so that's kind of like the new one on my list. But, Kev, you got your one you want to go to?
I do, actually, and it has nothing to do with the stadium itself. I don't think the stadium's anything special. Nissan Stadium in Nashville.
It's actually a really cool stadium, though. If you look at the design of it and everything.
Yeah, it's a cool stadium, but I want to go there just so after I can walk across the Sky Bridge and just go down to Broadway.
We're doing that together. Let's do this.
Sounds good. Once NFL season rolls around.
Yeah, we'll go see a Titans game. We'll go see Derrick Henry just like beat people in the submission.
I watched that during the AFC divisional or AFC wildcard round. Yes. Even when it's your own team, it's still kind of fun to watch.
It's majestic.
True. I also watched them do that in college a lot.
Oh, yeah, I did too. Honestly, when they did the fan vote, Derrick Henry won by a mile to me. Honestly, watching him just run over guys who are our size was hysterical.
He does that to men who are bigger than us.
I mean, I'm the size of a college safety, but it doesn't matter to me. Like I'm still not taking him down. I follow him on Instagram. His workout videos are freaking terrifying.
He's terrifying.
Yeah, true. All right. Next up. Oh yeah. What did you say?
He's a nice guy from what I've heard. Just like physically, he's terrifying.
Oh, I know. You know what's so funny? Like you talk to a lot of people. Like I have a friend who goes to Clemson. He goes, "Yeah, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne are like the coolest dudes on the bus."
Trevor Lawrence is a dick.
Oh, he is. He is once he gets competitive. But like my buddy Riley, who I work with now, when he comes to work at the moving company with me, he goes, "Yeah, I literally have class with half the athletes." He goes, Travis Etienne, T. Higgins, these dudes are cool. Trevor Lawrence is okay, but like, I guess like all the skill position players are mad cool, which doesn't surprise me at all. But I like after that video, we found out that Mark has a hatred relationship with Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, I do too, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
I'm trying to think. Jalen Hurts is a good guy. Really
How
nice
many guys who are in the NFL have you met from going to Alabama?
Actually met, briefly met Jalen Hurts because he held the door open for me once. I just said thank you and kept walking because I was like, this dude doesn't need some idiot getting like, oh, you're Jalen. Tua, I played flag football with him.
Really?
So he was coaching a sorority powder puff team in the field next to us. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So he came over to play flag football with our team. And he was like, I don't want to play quarterback. And this was before the national championship, before he started.
When you're just a backup.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling, too. Is Tua like a really chill dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
He just said, like, guys, I don't want to play quarterback. I said, fine. So I could play quarterback. Just threw it to him in the end zone. It got tipped. And Tua dove back to catch it. We're like, oh, please, just stop. Stop.
Yeah. All we need is Nick Saban flying around the corner in some Cadillac, like coming out screaming his head off. Nick
Saban buys Mercedes because he owns a Mercedes dealership.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you've told me about the stories about the dealership before.
And we were saying, like, if Tua gets hurt, we're all expelled.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Jalen Waddle, I've met briefly. He's still at Alabama right now. One of my friends met J.K. Scott And
I've
apparently
only met one pro football player like I went to college with, but that's Jerome Cunningham. He plays for the Redskins. I worked out with him my freshman year, but that's about it.
apparently on the team, J.K. Scott was the biggest dick.
He's a kicker. Surprised me.
My friend was in line at Chick-fil-A getting food. And there's one down on campus where you just get your food and then you go to a register and pay. As you're leaving.
It's similar setup with mine too. It's a state.
Yeah, that was the only one on my campus like that. But so a bunch of football players were behind him, waiting. And J.K. Scott was like, I'm on the football team, and walked in front of him. So my friend hates
He's a kicker. He's a kicker.
They're not one of the best kickers in the country at the time. But my friend hates him now.
This is one of the reasons I wish I went to. I actually wish I pulled the trigger on my LSU app, because I would have loved to experience that. Like, oh, I'm getting dinner. Oh, Jalen Mills just cut me off, like, while I'm trying to get dinner. Or I got Leonard Fournette shoved me out of the way to go get Chick-fil-A. I don't even know. It would have been cool to like experience that.
I mean, a lot of them are nice guys too.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. Like, I feel like honestly, like it would have been cool, but like I went to a D2 school, so I had one NFL guy come out of my college in the last 5 years. So he's a practice squad bouncer, but whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, I class the idiots and the guys who are like kind of like, oh, look at me. We're all the backups and bench warmers.
True. Yo, honestly, it's crazy because I went to a school where basketball was the biggest thing with us for men's sports. So our basketball team was huge in D2, and we ended up having a ton of success. Like my first year, my freshman year, we ended up going to the NCAA tournament Elite Eight. So, and these dudes would go out and party with us. Like I remember my sophomore year, the guy who had the game-winning shot my freshman year, me and him were splitting a bottle of Jack in a house party, and he's like, Jared, pass the ball. I'm like, wait, Greg? I'm like, this dude just hit a jump shot. Like the week before, I'm in the stands cheering. I'm like friends with half the dudes who play the game. That was kind of cool about being in D2 school because we hung out with these guys because we had friends who were on the team. But with the football players, they all loved me because I was a sideline reporter. So I wouldn't talk to them anyway. So half of them, I still go on campus. They're all like coaching and shit. And they're like, Jared. I'm like, what's up, man?
I first semester freshman year, I lived with a walk-on football player.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that.
He didn't start. He dressed for games, I think, his senior year. And he'd get all the rings and all the cool clothes. But I remember one time he came back to our dorm and he's like, hey, Kevin, they gave us pizza and some Gatorades. Do you want a pizza and some Gatorade? I was like, yes, please. And it was pizza was from this place in town that was really good. And the football teams get the weirdest Gatorade flavors.
Yeah, I've noticed that because even at D2 level, because we were a Powerade school, so like because we were right on. Wait, you're NCAA athlete. I thought you get Powerade.
No, they got Gatorade.
D1, whatever. Yeah, D2 we got Powerade. Like I would remember, like I'd be walking to a class with a couple of my buddy Stefan who follows me who shout out to Stefan Williams on Twitter, follows our show. Me and him were walking back from our sports management class. Dude had a bottle filled with the weirdest ass flavor. It was like kiwi lime Powerade. I'm like, that's even a flavor? Like, I don't even like, I don't get it, but like, I do hear that. And like, I remember when D1 athletes and stuff, they'd get like the crazy shit. D2 athletes would get funny stuff too. Like, I remember one time I was hanging out with this dude I was going to school with, Dom, and he walked into my buddy Andy's room, who was one of the wide receivers in the football team, and he's like, yeah, we got like a Nike Pegasus, and we got like our own like choice of like basketball shoes. And I'm like, that's pretty lit. Y'all got like $400 dropped in your lap, basically. And he goes, I mean, yeah, we got a tracksuit and all this other crap. I'm like, dude, I had to pay $30 for the stupid ass hat I'm wearing. Like, fuck.
Yeah. The flavor he gave me was tropical mango strawberry, I think.
That sounds freaking amazing.
It was so good. I loved it.
That seems like a blacklist Gatorade flavor. Like, it's just like you only get if you're an athlete.
It was amazing. I have not seen it ever, except that one day 5 years ago. And I'm looking. If anyone can hook me up and get me like whatever Gatorade flavor, I'm pretty sure it was mango strawberry, but whatever Gatorade flavor with mango in it, I will love you forever.
I'm gonna try it too. Back on topic, Kev. We got some NCAA news. They made a good decision for once.
Yeah. Am I announcing this?
You're announcing this one.
Starting June 1st, football, women's basketball, and men's basketball, I think, can return to campus to do off-season workouts.
Let's go. I am hype because I need college football in my life. I need the stress and pain and torture of watching Miami Hurricanes games. Let's do this.
I need the joy of watching Alabama football with future Heisman winner Mac Jones at the helm.
I don't know, man. Well, you're really that confident, Mac Jones? I actually have to ask you seriously because this is the first time as a Hurricanes fan I'm like, oh my god, we have a legit quarterback with De'Ara King. Like, I gotta ask you, as you have been seeing like championship pedigree teams, are you that confident in Mac Jones?
Yes. I think he wasn't as good as Tua last year, but in the games he came in and played in, he was fine.
His stats were okay. It was like eighth from to shake a stick at. It was not bad.
No, and also I think we had one of our running backs was a 5-star. Trey Robinson was supposed to play significant minutes last year, tore his ACL in preseason.
Yikes.
So that's one weapon that we're going to get back. Najee Harris is coming back. We still have Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle.
So you guys are still going to have a loaded offense. I honestly, I was talking to somebody the other day about college football, and they were like, so who's winning the SEC? I'm like, it's Alabama, guys. Like, LSU with the perfect storm. So Alabama's going to be there next year because they have enough weapons coming back. They're like, all right, we're good. We don't have an injured quarterback. Mac Jones got another year under his shoulders. See, for me as a Hurricanes fan, I'm excited because, one, all of our transfers from last year now are integrated. We now have according to like a bunch of draft experts, have the best defensive end in the country, Greg Rousseau. I'm hype as hell because I thought this kid was nasty. His freshman debut, dude, one of his games, and it was against FSU, 4 sacks, literally in a drive. It was the most ridiculous display of athleticism I've ever seen. And we got the transfer from Houston, De'Ara King, with that secondary, and I'm telling you, T. Hagan, what is his name? Wiggins, D. Wiggins, 6'3" or 6'2"-ish, runs like hell. I love my Canes. I think they're going to take a shot at Clemson because I think Clemson's going to have a down year this year because they're going to I think there's so much hype around Lawrence going to the draft. I think this might knock them down a peg. I still think they're going to win the conference, but I think Miami's going to be that kind of like sneaking team, kind of being like, all right, we're going to nip at your toes a little bit because the Coastal right now looks like absolute trash. Because Virginia lost a bunch of guys, and you got Pitt, who just is always garbage, and then it just gets down from there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the ACC Coastal is always bad.
Yeah, it is. Ever since the fact that Miami was what's holding it up is embarrassing. Because this is the first year of Manny Diaz's recruits actually playing, so you're going to see more Cameron Harris, Brevin Jordan, Bob Bolden. I'm excited for that team. Al Blades Jr. And it's going to be a good team. I'm actually excited. Like, I don't think we're not going to win a national title, but it's going to be like 2016 where we not like beat the snot of a team who was a top 5 team at one point. So in 2016, when Brad Kai and the boys beat the snot out of West Virginia, it's going to be something like that. We're a year away. I have no national title aspirations whatsoever. We have 3 5-star. We have one 5-star and one 4-star quarterback waiting in the wings. One's from Connecticut, surprisingly. I don't get that. I'm excited for this season. Thank God the NCAA is back. Praise God. Like, I need my college football and I need my NFL in the day after.
Yeah. Also, I think you're disrespecting the Pitt Panthers a little bit. Saying
the National Upset University. Yeah,
pretty much. I mean,
just don't be ranked inside the top 5 when you play them. Be like Miami. The last 2 times Miami's played them, they beat the snot out of them because they're not ranked.
Yeah, I mean, I think
just don't play Pitt when you're in the top 5 team, and you're fine.
Pretty much.
I think they poisoned their Gatorade or something. It's got to be something ridiculous like that.
I think that's kind of hard to do when you're playing at Clemson when you upset them.
You can pay some people off. All right. We got some sad news, Kev. We have a death in the sports world. I'm gonna let you take this one.
You could have let me know that. Shad
I
Gaspar.
don't know anything about this.
He was a WWE wrestler, was taken out in a riptide while swimming with his son and died. Unfortunately, found his body on a beach in California. There's some facts about this guy. I mean, neither Jed are WWE fans, but he was with his son, and his son luckily is still alive and got out of the riptide. But Gaspar, like I said, WWE, he stopped a robbery in 2016, 2017. Dude went into a gas station with a gun. Gaspar tackled him and subdued him until cops arrived. And also God of War 4, I think it was, one that came out in 2018.
Yeah,
God of War. Motion capture for Kratos.
Really?
Yes.
Oh shit.
We're not trying to boil this man's life down into a couple of fun facts, but I don't know much about him.
I mean, that's the way I know him because like I've played on my buddy's PS4 before, but I mean, when you ever have a death, it's unfortunate, especially the fact the guy died in a riptide, probably drowned. So,
but just wanted to shed some light on him and his life.
Man, 39 years old. It's rough. But yeah. All right, Kev, we got any kind of final notes before we call it off for the night?
I do. So we haven't really talked about this month, but May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I had talked to Mike, Big Boss Mike, about doing a shirt, but then coronavirus happened, so we didn't get around to it. But I just want to shed some light on this. I mean, a lot of us go through mental health, loss of an impact.
Listen, man, you and me are both patients of it, so I'm one of these. I mean, I listen. I have high functioning depression. I will fully admit it right now, and it's something that I deal with every day. And I have friends who have anxiety issues. I have friends who have depression. It is something that people need to acknowledge, especially in today's atmosphere.
Yeah, and I don't touch on it much, but I talk a lot about my friend who was a Packers fan or who went to school. He lost his life after losing his battle to mental health issues. So it's really important. If you or anyone you know is suffering from mental health issues, we do have a banner right here, on the screen right now with some websites to go to. National Alliance for Mental Illnesses.org, NoShameOnYou.org, and the National Institute for Mental Health, which is a government website. They have a lot of resources you can use for either yourself or a loved one, a friend, family, whatever. You're not in this alone. If you're going through it, ask for help. You're not going to get judgment. People are going to help you. And
no, listen, nothing's better said. And honestly, I tell people all the time who struggle with this, because I'll admit this to friends of mine, and me and Kevin have bonded over the fact that me and him sometimes struggle through stuff. That's how we became friends. That's how this show that's how Kev came to Belly Up, because we became friends, and that's why he's here. So people, like, I can't stress it enough. As a person who struggles with some of this stuff, it is a imperative that you seek help. You talk to people. I gave a shout out to my therapist, Matt, who helped me through all of my issues in college. And my friends like Chris and Jeffrey, having support, and my parents and my sister, having the support system around you is the most imperative thing in all of this. So click the link below. If you are struggling, like some people I know have struggled around us, it's important. Talk to somebody to get some help. You're not alone.
That's it from me.
All right.
Can't really add anything to that, but pretty much.
Yeah. I know. I honestly, it was a pretty serious way to get it going. You actually got me a little emotional just now, because it's a big issue to you. It's been something that's present in my life to me. So I think mental health awareness should be very key in everyone's minds, especially right now. Well, we're in a quarantine where everything's just out of whack. But either way,
yeah, and a lot of those websites also, if you feel coronavirus is making it worse for you, those websites have a lot of resources to help with that specifically as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to help out the viewers, anyone else who might need it.
Yeah, because, listen, you're not alone. But, all right, Kev, it's about that time. We're going to call it a night tonight. No last call, folks, for the end of the week. I think I got it out of the way with the whole caller daddy complaining back on Tuesday. If If you haven't listened, our Tuesday show is up on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pinecast.
Podchaser.
Podchaser too, by the way. Love those guys. They followed me on Twitter. I felt so honored. So
Hey, Podchaser, why didn't you follow me?
I don't know. I guess because I'm the originator. I don't know.
Like, I get you're prettier than me, but come on, Podchaser.
I appreciate that.
Stop being thirsty, Podchaser, and just following Jared for his looks. Come on, you gotta follow the team.
I'm gorgeous. That's what happens. But between the hair and the beard, are you kidding? And the muscles, I'm great. But Kev's a beautiful soul. Hey, listen, it was a good save, right? All right. So that does it for us today. We will see you guys on Tuesday for a Korner podcast. Check us out. This will be on YouTube if you missed like the first half of this or whatever. But we appreciate all y'all stopping by. I'm Jared. That's Kev. We out.
Bye.